Ever feel like you don't fit in? That there might be something wrong with you? Looks like you're not alone. What would you do to be normal?
All I wanted was a normal life, she had said. Those words haunt me still. Then they took her away, where she was locked up forever, never to be seen again. I was the only one she talked to, but that was just because nobody cared to listen to what she had to say. I was there with her in the hospital. I mean, the reprogramming facility, as people call it now. We were both there to get help, to get reprogrammed. I know in order to continue my care, I need to confess. Talk about what happened so I can move on, so I can become normal. As you said, Doctor, I need help, but she needed it more than I did. At the time, she seemed normal, at least to me. She came voluntarily to get help. It was her first time in the program, and I thought she'd pass the reprogramming with no problem. But she told me she did have problems. Being normal was very difficult for her. As you probably know, Doctor, she had bouts of creativity. Now it's a serious mental condition, and I'm glad I never suffered from that, but just think how bad it must have been for her. If it wasn't for all her creativity and the psychopathic syndrome noted in your DSM-10 book called intelligence, she could have been normal. I only suffered from the mental disability of what I now know is called assertive behavior, and I'm sorry to say, confidence. Oh, now I don't have that anymore. I'm completely normal now. Well, almost. But my problems were nothing compared to hers. At the time, I didn't see anything wrong with what she suffered from because when she had creativity, she was happy. But I know now that was wrong, and our society doesn't allow that for good reason. Sickness breeds more sickness, as they say. She was seriously ill. She would grab paper and pens against nurses' orders and write for hours, and sometimes she would draw. I used to imagine, no, imagination is wrong. We must not glorify symptoms of illness. Before I knew better, I would have these thoughts in my head, happy thoughts, but not anymore. I'm getting better now. I'm not happy anymore. I'm on my way to being normal now. No more sickness, no more emotion. Now she had too much emotion. She would make these faces and force salty effluence, tears, from her eyes. It was scary to watch. She would do that for minutes at a time. I was never that ill. I never did what used to be called crying in my whole life. Then later, she'd make these barking sounds. I think it was laughter, horrible syndrome of the mental illness now diagnosed as humor. She had it bad. Then she took pills, as she was supposed to do. But then she got sick from them. I guess they made her stomach upset. Unreasonable. Then she got upset. Upset. She threw fits. It sounds like nonsense, but it was like she was possessed. Well, that's what she called it. I think it means to lose control. She got real, sad after that and made more of those tears when the nurses restrained her. Oh, it was for her own good, but she didn't see it that way, which was part of her illness, I guess. She didn't see things the way she was supposed to. In fact, when you first came into the room to get her, she thought you were the devil. Imagine that. Oh no, I'm sorry, Doctor. I didn't mean for you to actually imagine anything. That's not normal, and you're the most normal person I know. I feel sorry for her. I'll get over that sympathizing syndrome soon, but for now, I keep thinking of what she told me, how she could never fit in. She had problems with other people, with her job, and even with school. She didn't conform. That's why she was ill. She didn't make herself conform like she was supposed to. She told me she wanted a normal life, like everybody else. The normal people who conformed and did as they were told. I will not complain. I am a complacent human being. I will conform. She said this over and over, as if she could make herself do it, to be normal. It didn't work out, though. She was psychotic, having too much of that bad habit called talent, and even, dare I say it, what she called intuition, whatever that means. Do you know what that means, Doctor? I don't have a clue. but I think it's better that way. I am on the path to recovery. I will not complain. I am a complacent human being. I will conform. We must not question the will of those above us, but seek to fulfill our ultimate goal of total complacency. Chapter 1 of the Good Book of Society. Yes, Doctor, I'm reading my scripture and I'm getting better. Sorry, I will regulate my emotion now to an appropriate static level. As I was saying about that woman, well, she lost it in the end. When she saw you, it was like she pretty much gave up. Not that it was part of her treatment or anything. Total complacency is the goal here when we're reprogrammed. But she just didn't want to go on living anymore, as she called it. What did she mean by that? Suicide is a crime, and you can be fined up to $500 million for attempting it. So I don't think she meant that. Not normal. Not normal at all. She had shouted, "That's not a doctor, that's a demon!" I heard her. She was looking at the perfectly normal horns on your head, your clawed hands and hoofed feet, while screaming at the top of her lungs. Couldn't she tell that you are perfectly normal? Well, to be honest, honesty isn't normal, but for a moment, I almost believed you weren't normal. I almost believed you were a demon too. You see how sick she was, enough to almost convince me that you were a demon. But I am determined to get better and ignore all of those warnings she had told me about saving my soul. We give up our souls anyway when we come here, and since I don't see any monetary value in a soul, I don't think it's giving up too much. It's a small price we pay to get better. I want to be better and be just like you, Doctor, totally normal. I want a normal life.
So much for being normal. I guess being normal isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Join us next time for more tales of terror. See you soon.